Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about filtering data. So, filtering data, how does that help me in my day-to-day work life? By using this function, what you can do is essentially reduce your search time, so you don't have to manually search a lot of information in a very big, bulky workbook that you have, and this will save you tons of time and will make it easy for you to search for things or filter things out based on any condition that you set up before. So, that is what we will learn today, filtering data based on a condition and making this condition dynamic in a way that's not a fixed condition. So I have a condition, but the type for it is fixed. So the type is a month, and April is the specific condition that we are talking about. But as I said, I want to make it dynamic. So what I mean by that is, if I change this April to something else, then the results should vary and not be the same. If I say January, the result should be shown according to January and not according to April. As you can see, that is what is exactly happening in my sheet over here, and that is what I am going to teach you. First thing first, let me quickly show you how everything is set up and how the result will look like. So here is my sample data. My sample data contains information about books that were purchased. It contains the date on which the book was purchased. It contains the name of the person who purchased the book, and it contains the price at which the book was purchased. In this sample data, I am listing out books that were purchased. Now, what I want to filter the data based on will be the month. So if I select the month, it should display all the books sold in that month. Right now, as you can see, April is selected, so it is showing me 2 books that were sold in the month of April. And if I change it to something like maybe July, then it shows me 5 books that were sold in the month of July, along with all the information that is being displayed in my base data. Now, let's learn how to do this. First, we are going to talk about some specifics. We are going to talk about the basics. So many of you would be wondering what this little menu is, right? Many beginners who are just beginning to learn Excel sometimes do not know what this menu is called and how to create it. This menu is called a data validation drop-down menu, and I'm going to show you a very quick way to create this. So right here, let's go and click on this cell. I want the data validation drop-down menu in this cell, just like the one I have in this cell right over here. I am going to select that cell, go to Data, and then go to Data Validation. In this first thing, I am going to select is a list, because I want a drop-down list. As you can see, it is selected as in cell drop-down. So an in-cell drop-down will be created. Now I am going to add the values I want displayed in the drop-down menu. It will be something like January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. As you can see, I have put in the short forms for all the months, and my little drop-down has been created using the given values. So, this is how you quickly set up a data validation for any given cell. Now that we have dealt with the basics, let's talk about the fundamentals. The fundamental thing that you need to understand before we learn the formula, or the filter function, is that I have decided that I have the condition chosen as the month. So in this month, but February is not written anywhere in my data, so nowhere in my data does it say February. But what it does show is the numeric value that is being associated with the month that is February is the second month of the year, so number 2. Here, number 2 is directly shown in this date as the month's numeric value. So, we want to establish a relationship between February and the number 2. Why? Because later, when we apply our filter function, we will need to match the 2 things for it to generate a result based on that query. Let's figure out how we are going to associate the 2. We as humans are fully aware that February is the second month of the year, and that February is represented with the number 2, but Excel does not understand that. So for Excel to understand that, we need to create a list of our own. Right here, as you can see, I have created a list, or an array we can call it, in Excel terms. The list of all the months, and they are in order. Meaning, January being the first month is number 1, February being the second month is number 2. Now what we are going to do is use the match function. What the match function does is that it matches the values. What is it going to match? This value, so the value shown in this cell is February. So, February is going to be matched with the values present in this list or an array. The match function will match these two values and return the number for the position of that set value. Right now, when I apply the match function, what it is going to do is it is going to check, it is going to match the value that was given, so the February, and it is going to match it with all the values that are displayed over here. Once February is matched with this February in the list, the match function will return the number 2 as the result, because the function found the value February at the second position in the list. Right here, as you can see, February is placed in the second position in this list. So, the number 2 will be returned. That is exactly what is happening over here. The match function has been applied. Now let's just apply the same kind of match function over here too. What we are going to do is we will just type equal to then type match. Then we will select the lookup value. Lookup value is the value that you are going to match it with. So based on our condition, here this is our lookup value. So because we want the result displayed over here based on this is our lookup criteria. After that, we press comma. Comma is very important, without which the function will not operate. Once you put up the comma, it asks you for the lookup array. Where will you find this value? February. Where is it going to find it? It will find it in this list here. So, we are going to select this list. Then press comma. Then we are going to decide whether we want an exact match or not. Yes. In this case, because February is not a numeric value, we want an exact match. So we will select the exact match, and then we will close the bracket and press enter. The function was applied, and I can see number 2 being displayed in the other cell. Now when I change the value over here with something like May, number 5 is displayed in both these cells because May is in the 5th position inside this list or array. Now that you understand how the match function works, step 1 is done. For step 2, we are going to apply the filter function. So, to apply that filter function, we need to create space for it to display the result. Right here, this is my initial space that I decided based on my data, how much my data is. You can increase or decrease it based on however much data that you have. Because my data set is small, I am going to select this part of it to show the result for my condition and to duplicate what is going on over here, because this was already made when I started the video. I have a little space created over here as well to show you exactly what is happening in this column. Now let's replicate what we did over here in this space so that you understand what we are talking about. Let's press equal to and say filter. Select filter. Now it is asking me for an array. It is like a list or your data, meaning it is asking me to define the data where I am going to filter from, my base data. So we will select my base data. Let's go over here and just select it. Once that is selected, we will press comma. Now it's asking me to include what? It's asking me for the condition. My condition is month. So, for me to establish that number 2 is associated with February, and to determine that yes, the date being displayed has the numeric value 2 that is used for the month. For it to recognize that we will use another function called month. What this month function will do is it's going to return the month value 1 to 12 for any given condition. Right, so in this, we are going to just select the month now. It's asking me for the serial number. So what this means is that the search criteria for it would be in the date column because we are going to match it with the date. So I am just going to select the date part of my data, and I am going to just put it over here. Okay, now what it's asking me to do is it's asking me what to match it with. So right here, this cell was created so that we can match the numeric part of the date to the numeric part that is associated with any given month. So we say equal to this value right over here, and we will close the bracket and press comma again. And now it is asking me if empty. meaning if no data is found for the condition that you have created, what should the result be? And this is like optional. You can add a value for it, and you can choose to skip it. Doesn't matter. All you have to do is just put double quotes and close the bracket and be done. But I want something displayed like match not found or no data found. So, I will say no data found should be displayed if there is no data to be found. Now that we are done with that, we are going to press enter. And looks like I made a small mistake. So, it's just asking me for an extra bracket because this whole thing is one single entity. And let's see here, okay, so let's fix the brackets and press enter and done. Now we got our desired result. So the same result that is being displayed right over here is now displayed here as well. And that was it. Enjoy, guys. If you have any questions or concerns, you can write down in the comments and I'll be happy to help you out. And if you like this video and find this helpful, please leave a thumbs up, share it, and put a comment to show some love. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.